Gotta elevate. I've been praying to God for a better way. I concentrate on my goals and I meditate. Make sacrifices, put time and I dedicate. I gotta elevate. I'ma make sure the family forever straight. They wouldn't listen.
Oh, that's right. Please.
That's my house.
What's going on, too?
I went out one day, was on the porch for half hour.
What you
Look
say?
at me. You ain't got nothing on you.
So if you want to play, you better get some video. Well, at least she is taking a picture.
Man, you know, it's important to get in those rooms, get around the right people to get the message out. You know, I'm an ex-felon, and, you know, we aren't being heard. Small business owners, we are not being heard. Like, it's so much that we need. It's so much that we have to learn. Only way we gonna get the message out is we got to get in those rooms, man. We got to talk to the right people. So, you know, today is I'm going to Dr. Ford, Derrick Ford. He's the president of the NCAA chapter here in Dayton, Ohio. He's even received a BET award. So, you know, he's running for state legislator. And those are the kind of people that you need to be around. You need to touch bases with to get the message out, to get help. I mean, the only way we're going to get help and the only way we're going to be able to help felons and help people coming home from prison that's trying to be entrepreneurs or trying to change their life, trying to do something positive and productive, is somebody has to speak for all those people. And I'm trying to be that voice. I'm trying to get out here and reach the people and talk to the right people and get in those rooms. It's important to get in those rooms, to have a seat at the table. And the only way we're going to have a seat at the table is if we get out here and network and get to rubbing elbows with the right people. So this event was a good event. It was informative. Check it out, man. I mean, you might learn something from it. I mean, just check it out. It's nice.
From our Dayton City Commissioners, from our county commissioners, you know, I want to be able to listen at what are your concerns inside of the 38th House District of Ohio, because that's what's important. It's not about what Derrick thinks. It's about what each one of you think and what is helpful to you. You know, so you know, as I was talking to you know, some of my business leaders, you know, Tay Winston, I was talking to her just earlier this evening, asking about you know, what is it about entrepreneurs? You know, what is it that you all need? And you know, so it's you know, for me, it's going to be a listening session, because I already know, as you just heard Attorney Lepler say, I am going into the minority. So anything that we try to get done, anything that a Democrat tries to get done, you're going to have to work with a Republican. There's no ways around it. You know, you can't slice it, you can't dice it. You know, you're going to have to be able to work the other side of the aisle. You know, but thank God that he's given me certain knowledge, skills, and abilities of negotiations. You know, I've been a negotiator for a long time. And being able to walk across those aisles, to be able to talk to other people, to be able to get things done, I've demonstrated the ability to do that. And I've demonstrated that through our 8-point strategy on criminal justice reform and police accountability. At the death of George Floyd, I was able to get together about 30 different law enforcement agencies inside this county. And we was able to do that because they had a vested interest, we had a vested interest, you know, as a community, and we were able to work together. And that's what it's about, is being able to work together. You know, whether that's inside the business community or whether that's the healthcare industry. You know, yes, you know, there are some you know, challenges that, you know, so many people get caught up on certain things, but you got to look beyond the veil. You got to look beyond the pale, and you know, to be able to say, well, what's from a holistic standpoint, what else can we do to make things happen? You know, always being an agitator or an aggravator, you need that. We need that. You know, certain people are developed and skilled to do that. But I think that what the best thing to do is to sit at at the table of brotherhood to try to make some things happen. You know, that's always been my strategic, that's always been my strategy. I'd rather do that before, you know, before some of the other things I see other people do. Everybody has their own leadership style. But my leadership style is, how can we sit down at this table of brotherhood, work together for the betterment of our community? And that's what we will continue to do on this campaign, at every step of the way. My wife here, I had to consult her because, we're newlyweds. So I said, hey, are you ready, for me, being involved even at, a higher level? And I say at a higher level because there's going to be a lot of traveling involved. So back and forth to the State House every day. And at least 3 days, 3 days a week from my understanding. So it's going to be a lot of traveling involved. So I need to make certain I have the support of my wife. Working with county engineer, on the bridge project that he did. And, that great bridge that we walk over for peace every single year, that we're going to be doing here in another few days. So I was engaged with him as it relates to that whole particular process. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about developing relationships. Everything is relational, but you don't have to compromise your value system. All you got to do is be true to yourself. My neighbor once said, "To thine own self be true." Derrick, when you get up in the morning and you look inside that particular mirror every day, you're looking at your face, and your face is looking at you, and you gotta be okay with what your conscience is going to do after you have made a particular decision. And I can tell you, I'm going to continue to work for each one of you. I'm going to continue to work for every constituent in the 38th House District of Ohio, but then it goes beyond that. Because as a state legislator, you're making policy for everybody inside the great Buckeye state of Ohio. And that's why it's very important to listen. So what I want to do at this point is I want to take, so my first L is to listen. The second L is to lead. Because after you elect me, you're going to expect for me to lead. You're going to expect me to demonstrate leadership and act upon the things that you have asked me to do. And then lastly, I want to be able to legislate. So all the stuff I've been advocating for over these past 18 years as the president of the NAACP, I want to be able to put some laws on the books. And I know it's not going to be easy. There you go, you tell me. So I want to hear from the entrepreneurs over here. I want to hear from my brother here who actually owns 3 businesses. How many businesses you own? Tell them how many businesses you own.
I own 3 businesses. I own Taco Street, Lux Barber Lounge, and I have a upcoming restaurant that's opening in Ohio Pond and Loan.
Where?
On Broadway and 3rd.
Right there. Right there.
Yeah, so that'll be a burger restaurant with a speakeasy in the basement.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I was talking to Dr. Forward earlier about, with entrepreneurs, our biggest obstacle is not knowing where to get funds from.
Right, the money.
So with him, if he can just bring that forward to a lot of entrepreneurs, it'll help us grow a lot more, because it's not enough businesses in Dayton that's growing. A lot of them are open, but they fail because we have lack of funds. So that's something that's real important for entrepreneurs.
And I can tell you, so when I'm talking about demonstrating the work, from an entrepreneur standpoint, when the organization, I'm talking about the organization known as the National Association, the Dayton unit of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, came in and said, "Derrick, we want to put a scholarship in your name." These are the kinds of things that I've been involved with. I'm talking about doing the work. I'm not talking about being somebody that's living one place and living another place. I'm talking about being right here inside this community. I never left y'all.
No, you didn't.
I'm right here. And I will be here, like my neighbor, the late Paul Miller said, until the end of time. Because that's what I plan to do. My thing is I want to be able to help people. So I just want to hear from you, my constituents. I want to listen to you. I want to open this floor for about the next 5 to 7 minutes to be able to listen to you about what your concerns are. And I want to jot them down. So the floor is open.
Can I start?
Yes, ma'am.
We need to repair the relationship with our legislature and local government. As counties, we are an arm of state government, and yet our current legislature forgets that and is like, well, you know, you can raise your own taxes. And we need to go back to a fair local government fund sharing like we used to do. So I need you to be a voice to keep pushing the local government fund.
The local government fund.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
home rule.
Well, yeah, that too. Thank you, Valerie. Yes.
I say home rule because the state has consistently taken the authority of local governments away from them, whether it's on residency, whether it's on predatory lending, whatever their particular topic has been. And I think the cities are finally at the point saying that we need you to honor the home rule charters, and we collectively need to make certain that the state isn't routinely preempting the decision of local elected officials around governance in the way they engage in their communities.
Home rule, okay? Also, home rule being, your major issue, okay?
Derrick, I don't have anything specific to a bill or anything, but I need the state, as well as the country, but I need the state to go back to remembering people who are poor and disadvantaged. I am tired of leaders who are passing bills that help fill their pockets economically and not caring about the human services that every community is facing. And I need the legislator to not forget about the people who need the help the most.
Amen. Amen.
And let me just take a pause there for these first three. I can tell you that anybody who knows me, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I can tell you that I will fight like you know what, to make certain of those things that we have a seat at the table. I can't guarantee, and I'll never say that I'll never promise or overpromise things I can't deliver. But you can be doggone sure that everything that each one of you have asked for, that I want to be an activist up there, I'm going to be an advocate for, and like I said, I already know I'm going to be in the minority. So being in the minority doesn't mean we can't get anything done, though.
No. Right.
Okay, it's about how you go to market with those other individuals who are in leadership, who are in power, to be able to make some things happen. So those things are noted, and I'll make certain that that those things will be acted upon when I get to the State House.
We know you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Do something to bring these gun laws
Yes.
under
Amen.
control. To keep these guns out of the hands of these children. You know my story, and I'm not going to get into it. These gun laws, something to know when there is a mental health issue. Keep these guns out of the hands of the mentally ill. We need to control these gun laws.
And I couldn't agree with you more. You know, that's something that you know, that you personally know, that I've been advocating for. You know, it didn't make no sense for our governor to say that you don't have to have what I have inside of my wallet. What I have inside of my wallet right here
Yeah. You can still
is I have my concealed carry card. And for our governor to say anybody,
Don't need it anymore.
no need in this right here to understand
No training.
no training. Doesn't make sense.
That stuff. And of course funding.
Even navigating,
Or Millbank, yes.
Yeah, even navigating the Ohio Business Gateway can help you, because it's a lot of things that I didn't know when I first opened the business,
Same.
like going and filing
All the paper.
all your sales tax.
Yeah.
So I recently just ran into a issue. So when you set up your vendor's license, they ask you when are you planning on opening. So I had put March. Well, we didn't open until August. So instead of me going back and filing zero, they came. Yeah, they sent letters and like I
Like
owed
they were
money.
expecting you to pay taxes,
Yeah.
and you weren't even open.
I wasn't open.
Okay.
And came for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you just didn't know what you didn't know.
But you ain't know, and a lot of other people
It was a
didn't.
big deal because we wasn't open.
Yeah.
But when you tell them you're gonna open at a certain time, they expect you to show up.
Entrepreneur.
So it's stuff like that that entrepreneurs can run into.
They don't even know about city taxes and stuff. Like, they look at me crazy. Like, what do you mean? What's that? And I gotta, you know, even when you go get out, and I'm done after this. Even when you want to go and get whatever, entrepreneurs don't understand that it starts right here. They don't even have that education. When I went to Citywide, he wanted 3 years of taxes and bank statements and stuff. Entrepreneurs don't know that. They're just out selling their product. They're not filing taxes and stuff. So it's a lot. I can talk all day, but we definitely need some help with the small businesses. No problem.
And that's looked at the numbers. The spike in gun violence has rose in the state of Ohio because of an ineffective person in office who's passing legislation that doesn't make sense. You know, our former mayor and our current mayor has been talking about sensible gun laws inside this community for a long time, but even more importantly, when our community got attacked down in the Oregon district.
Yes.
And I think the rallying cry was, you gotta do something.
Do something. Yeah.
So who's gonna do something? Derrick Forward will do something. Now, whether or not they wanna hear me up there or not is a different story. But I will put some on the floor.
But at least you'll have a voice. I'm tired of legislators who are afraid to say something.
Right.
Yes.
To speak up and tell the truth.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's right. That's right.
We don't want for that job.
That's right.
Now, how you gonna corral the gun lobbyists? That's a big thing that these senators, congressmen, all they get paid.
He what?
He's been gun makers.
Forever. And I'm glad he's getting charged.
Well, one thing is, so his question was, say it again.
How are we gonna take down the gun lobbyists? That's in essence what I'm saying. You know, because they are paying big bucks to keep these legislatures silent about the gun laws and how to corral, because it's killing us. It's killing us.
Well, one thing you gotta have is a seat at the table.
Yes.
And once you have a seat at the table, and as a state legislator, you got a seat at the table. It's a matter of how are you going to utilize what the constituents have sent you to go do. And I can guarantee you, Mr. Cordner, that I will definitely deal with the NRA. I'll call a meeting with NRA. You know, with the president, and you know that doesn't scare me. You know, at the end of the day, you got to have a conversation. And that's definitely what I will do. I will definitely call upon a conversation with the NRA and talk about sensible gun laws and talk about the things. I mean, look at all the loopholes. You have law enforcement that want, you know, what's that one thing that they used to have at the Hair Arena? You know, gun show. Yeah. So think about that. Gun and knife show, and you can go right outside inside the parking lot and do exchanges.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Who's monitoring it?
Nobody.
Right.
They're doing it at the fairgrounds.
Now they do it at the fairgrounds.
They're doing it at the fairgrounds.
So now doing it at the fairground. So I will, when elected, Mr. Cordner, I will be out there at the fairground.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's good.
Okay. All right.
I can back you. I'll be right there with you. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as a retired police officer, I think we ought to start looking at diversity in law enforcement again as well.
Yes.
Because it didn't went under the umbrella and it's forgotten. And I've been to departments where there is no diversity at all. So
In leadership too.
Yeah.
And I can say, as the president of NAACP, I've been challenging Dayton Police Department for a very long time. I've been challenging, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department for a very long time. But that's the great thing. When I was able to get with the law enforcement, and they majority of them, of those 30 that I said that I talked about, majority of them actually corralled around our 8-point strategy. So that's what we can do. We can corral that. And use expertise expertise. So like yourself, you know, you've already been through this, right? So if we put a think tank together and you were able to share with a broader community, you know, pitfalls to look out for, that's important.
Yeah.
I try.
You know, and you know, so
Keep
that's
trying.
something that I'll be willing to advocate for.
I try.
You know, you know, that's important.
Yeah.
So somebody had asked about ex-felons. Somebody asked on Tay's phone about restoring ex-felons' rights.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, me myself, I'm an ex-felon, and I turned my life around 360.
Good for you.
You know,
Right.
so it's possible. And you know, I'm not saying everybody can do it, but it's all about a mindset. I just wrote a book. It just came out about a week ago. It's called Mindset Makeover. So that's just in my DNA. Is just change my whole mindset. So it's possible. I mean, we should be able to find some way to restore the rights.
And vote.
Yeah.
And vote. And
They
vote.
can vote in the state of Ohio.
They can.
Oh, okay. I don't think I knew that. Okay.
You can.
We gotta get that word out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that word out.
Because they might not think that they can.
Right, well, and Derrick knows
They
that
think
the
they
county
can.
does, we have our Office of Reentry. But we're reaching about that much,
Okay.
of our felons that are coming home.
Yeah.
And we try to reach out, but we can only do, as a county, so
Right.
much when we have thousands of men and women coming home.
Right. Right.
But we have, you know, hundreds every year going through our academy, but I'd love to catch up with you later about that.
I'll get your number.
But we need a statewide, we really need more help from the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really do.
I can tell you something that was so impactful for me because I was able to share with loved ones, family members who have been formerly incarcerated. You know,
We all have family members.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when I think about Congressman, I think it's Congressman Danny Davis out of Chicago, and I went to a Congressional Black Caucus. He had this big panel discussion, and basically he kind of went around on this big, big table, probably about 6 people around the table, and each person had an opportunity to share a story, and you didn't know which one of the individuals were formerly incarcerated because of the intelligence that each of those individuals
Yes, sir.
embodied.
Yep.
And after they got through telling their story, they say, "I'm the person who I was just talking about." It was very powerful, and those are the kinds of things that we can bring right here to Dayton, Ohio, to the great Buckeye State of Ohio. We can steal some from a different state. It doesn't matter. You know,
for sure.
And what I mean by that, to qualify, when I say steal, so I'm talking an idea. Okay, I'm talking an idea, and that's something that Congressman Danny Davis did, at the Congressional Black Caucus, and it was very powerful. And it gives people hope. You know, gives people,
That's all they need.
That's
all they need.
I am a citizen. Yes, we all have made mistakes.
Yes.
There's not one person inside this room and inside this city who has not made a mistake.
Absolutely. That's right. Just didn't get
But it's
caught.
how we rebound from those mistakes.
Yeah.
To set yourself up, and so you're destined for success.
Yes.
And that's what I see in you, my brother.
Oh yeah, he's great.
You're destined for success. Because you said, you know, it didn't come out of my mouth, her mouth, his mouth. You said you changed your life around. And that's what it takes for other individuals to understand that they can change their lives around as well. But they need a support system.
They need a support system.
There's no hope. It's when you, like, when I came home, I slept on my friend's couch. I didn't have nothing. But I went and got a job. Because I knew I wasn't going back to prison. I knew I was going to do the same thing, because that's kind of like insanity. Doing the same thing and expect a different result. So I got a job, and I got a plan together, and that's how I got to where I'm at today. But everybody doesn't have that mindset.
Right.
You know, I didn't waste my time in prison. When I went to prison, I read, and I studied, and I taught. I was at a prison camp, so I was in there with millionaires. So, you know, I'm talking to those type of guys and I'm studying their mindset, and I'm wondering, like, okay, so how did you get to be that successful? Yeah, you made a mistake, but I'm not going to make the same mistake you made. I just want to know, what steps did you take to get to where you were. And most of it was feeding your mind and changing your mindset and thinking different and thinking positive.
Now you got 3 buildings.
So I want to go to the education for a moment.
Okay.
How can
There you go, you tell me.
so I want to hear from the entrepreneurs over here. I want to hear from my brother here who actually owns 3 businesses. How many businesses you own? Tell them how many businesses you own.
I own 3 businesses. I own Taco Street, Lux Barber Lounge, and I have a upcoming restaurant that's opening in Ohio Pond and Lone.
Where?
On Broadway and 3rd.
Right there,
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that'll be a burger restaurant with a speakeasy in the basement.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I was talking to Dr. Forward earlier about with entrepreneurs, our biggest obstacle is not knowing where to get funds from.
Right, the money.
So with him, if he can just bring that forward to a lot of entrepreneurs, it'll help us grow a lot more because it's not enough businesses in Dayton that's growing. A lot of them are open, but they fail because we have lack of funds. So that's something that's real important for entrepreneurs.
And I can tell you, so when I'm talking about demonstrating the work, from an entrepreneur standpoint, when the organization, I'm talking about the organization known as the National Association, the Dayton unit of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, came in and said, Derrick, we want to put a scholarship in your name. It's in my DNA. And for 18 years, I've been doing this work for $0 and 0 cents. For $0 and 0 cents. And that should tell you something about my level of commitment to this community. You know, I don't need to get paid to work for this community.
Say that. Yes.
And that's what I've been doing for a very long time. 2 decades. But in addition to that, how about my almost 30-year career working for Speedway? I'm a business leader too. A lot of times people don't look at that because they look at me as just as the president of the NAACP. But forget about it, I spent 30 years, or almost 30 years, as a business leader, hiring, developing, training people to become successful businessmen. That's what I did. That's what the Lord allowed me and blessed me to be able to do. I established a relationship between Speedway and Central State and Wilberforce University. I established that relationship. I was able to get scholarship opportunities for students at those 2 institutions. I'm talking about demonstrating doing the work. You know, I'm not a fly-by-night kind of guy.
No.
I'm here and I'm for you. And I want to say to all of you, before I say this last thing, I want to recognize the Andrews. This is Darren Andrews and his wife Debbie Andrews. They're going to host our next, in case you missed this one, in case the people who you are filming, in case you missed this particular fundraiser, you can come to the next fundraiser. And they're hosting it at their business on Salem Avenue on February the 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. That's Friday, February the 9th from 5 to 7 p.m. So if you missed this one, if you're online and you're live, you can catch the next one. So I want to thank you two, as a couple, to say, Derrick, we believe in you. We believe in what you're doing. We want to host a fundraiser on your behalf, and I appreciate that. And I'm saying it openly and publicly in front of all these people. I have to say it to you behind closed doors. I'm saying it to you openly and publicly. I appreciate you.
Well, we feel honored to be able to support and help do our part. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's the next fundraising activity. And for me, I'm a very religious person. Flo knows that. She knows the kind of family I come from. I call her Flo. I can call her Miss Smith, but she always been like to call Flo. She's like my mother, and her and my mother grew up together. They, all of us, well, not grew up together, but let me state this right. When I was born, my parents moved to 807 Olympian Circle in Jefferson Township. My mother and her husband worked at NCR together or something like that. To help get money to have those homes.
What's going on, YouTube? So this sums up today's episode. This is episode 4. It's gonna be different every episode. I mean, I'm gonna get better and I'm gonna get better. You know, I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to this. So the episodes are gonna get better. It's gonna get more entertaining. The most exciting thing about these episodes that I'm doing is I get a chance to just walk you through my eyes and my life. I'm excited for you guys to be on the beginning stages of building the restaurant, so you'll see the from the beginning to the end. So I'm very excited about that. And before I leave, I'm gonna leave you with this. You know, we need to start practicing, and we need to start acting in spite of fear, in spite of doubt, in spite of worry, in spite of uncertainty, in spite of inconvenience, in spite of discomfort, and even practice acting when we're not even in the mood to act. You know, we have to get out here and get to it even when we don't feel like getting to it. Even when it comes to working out. You know, some days you don't feel like working out, but you still got to go. You still got to get out there and do it. You got to act. So, I'm going to leave y'all with that. And until next time.
I gotta elevate. I've been praying to God for a better way. I concentrate on my goals and I meditate. Make sacrifices, put time and I dedicate. I gotta elevate. I'ma make sure the family forever straight. They wouldn't listen, now I gotta devastate. I'm on your ass and I won't let you get away. I gotta elevate.